Today, I'll be doing my review on Backbone, a game I did not see myself actually picking up until I played the prologue a few weeks ago, and the prologue caught my attention. Not just visually, but the story was very entertaining. Now I finally got my hands and finished the game and thinking to myself, wow, I actually wouldn't mind playing another one. I want more of this lore, and this game is great. So the story of the game, you're following a guy named Howard Loader. He's a private investigator, and he's not the strongest man around. He's doesn't have the muscle to maybe get away with certain things. He's more of a savvy guy. He has ways with words that he can get his way most of the time. But it also gets him into a lot of trouble. He is very strong-minded, but he goes through so much in this game. And without spoiling anything on the story later down the road, this guy goes through so much that by the end of it, you start feeling kind of bad for him. You start rooting for the guy, hoping he can make it. It's a ride that you don't know what's gonna happen next. And I was very excited. And I'm still very excited for the game. I really want more. After finishing the game, it leaves you wanting more. And I'm hoping we get more from Backbone, because the character development in this game is insane. It's really good. You start loving characters, you start hating characters, and some of the characters you hated, you'll end up saying, whoa, they've changed completely. You thought they were going one way, then they went another way. It's pretty intense. Now, you also have friends that will follow along through the story, like Lottie, Larry, Renee. You also see someone who seems very familiar each time you notice them, but they go by the name Bo, Po, Mo. Yeah, they're the newspaper people, and yeah, I'll let you find out on your own. But Larry is an old-time friend that you find early on in the prologue and helps you out and becomes pretty crucial later down the road. Just like Renee. Renee's someone you also find out after the prologue. She is a fox, and she is foxy for sure. She's writing a report, and she's hoping to expose some theories that she's been running along with, and she notices that you were snooping around the place that she's been trying to report on, and she kind of gets a liking to you. She feels like you are man driven, and you really are. Though you stumbled upon a few things you didn't wish you found, you guys work together to kind of become this very powerful team, unknowingly also, to end up trying to take on Clarissa. She's a powerful bear lady who her bloodline kind of runs down through years of power, basically, and she finds herself owning this nightclub called The Bite. And it's an interesting name because it has a fitting name, that is. And you stumble upon a bunch of things, missing peoples, and it gets pretty deep without spoiling too much. And I urge you, if you've got any interest in this game, to give it a shot just for the story alone. Now, when it comes down to gameplay, it's a noir detective type game. It's heavily sprite based. It looks amazing. Some of the shots you'll see in here are mind blowing. You're like, dude, that looks so beautiful. It's crazy. It kind of runs down to like the point and click kind of adventure, because you're gonna be running around talking to different people, finding clues like a detective would, and it takes you to so many different places. It's an adventure. The story is very suspenseful, sometimes borderline thriller, man, getting into some very scary situations. What I really love, it's the emphasis in the lore of this world building that they do. Not only do they world build visually, but some of the characters and stuff you learn in the game just by playing really helps you believe that this world is a real thing. It's insane how it works all together, especially by the end. You're literally reading a visual novel here that's just playing out in front of your eyes. It's amazing. The gameplay is pretty standard, but it's just everything around it that brings it all together so well. And the music, oh man, the audio is really well done. Some of the music that plays, man, it gets your head bumping. You're like, oh yeah, I'm jamming to this. It makes you want to pick up their soundtrack, their official soundtrack. It's really good, well played out. And it's something that I'll definitely catch myself bumping to later on down the road. Now, with the audio, there comes no voice over work at all. This is all just you reading through the game, playing it out as you go. Sadly, there was no voiceover work, but it doesn't really hurt the game, because I feel like reading makes you absorb things so much easier with this type of game. And trust me, you will be doing a lot of reading. I play this on my live stream, and boy, did I go through several bottles of water to get through the game, because I was reading everything out loud. There was a lot. But yeah, the game is very heavily story driven, and that's kind of what kept me wanting to play. I beat this all in one go. You can obviously take your time, talk to everyone in the game. Now, I was just fascinated with the story, and I beat it in 7 hours, which for a game that costs $25, it's not too bad. It is one of those games that I feel like once you play it once you finish the story, you don't really have a very big motive to jump back in. There is no new game plus. It basically resets you from the beginning. But I mean, it would be interesting to see, since you know what path to take you took the first time, you can try to see if you can try to take a different path, because I noticed there are different ways to getting into this nightclub and stuff like that. So there are different ways to definitely play the game for sure. Now, it does have an amazing cast, like I said before, and it's kind of what kept me really going. So the game is roughly 7 hours for your first playthrough. It might be a little longer depending if you try to talk to everyone in the game. There's a lot of dialogue, a lot of reading, like I said. But it's all very entertaining, and trust me, there'll be times where you'll kind of feel like, okay, this is kind of getting slow. I don't know what's going on, but then something dramatic happens, and boom, you're back. You're glued to the screen. You're reading. You're trying to understand what's going on, and it gets intense. The lore is pretty interesting, and the lore gets told in the game. And I didn't know anything about the game before I hopped in, and I'm just like, wow, just insane story. And I'll say, for my time that I spent playing this game yesterday, it's still stuck in my head. I still want to go back and play it, and I recommend you guys trying it out. If this game seems interesting to you, by any means, give it a shot. It's available on PC only at the moment, but it's on several platforms on PC. You can get it on Steam, GOG, Epic Game Store, and it's also available on the Xbox Game Pass for PC. So if you already have that, you can actually just download the game right away and play it. If you have the Epic Game Store, they're doing they have a $10 coupon, so I recommend you picking up the free game. You'll unlock the $10 coupon, and you can pick up Backbone for like $15. It's definitely worth it. Seriously, visually, it's worth it, and story-wise, it's completely worth it. Because by the end of the game, your mind will be blown, and you'll be probably screaming at your screen saying, "No, I want more! I want more!" Because that's how I felt when I finished the game, and trust me, it was a lot of fun. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching my very first review on this channel and my very first official video on this channel. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope to see you guys on my next review. Give me some suggestions on anything I should be reviewing. But until next time, keep on keeping on, guys.